Hi friends, Apex Legends Legacy, or Season 9 as it's also known as, is officially live. We've been getting really hyped for this season because it's got so much amazing content, and I think one of the biggest things that's come this season in Apex Legends is the new game mode. So today I'm going to talk you through how to play the new arena mode in Apex Legends Legacy, and I'll cover everything from how arena mode works, to tips on how to win more games in arena mode in Apex Legends Legacy. I'm going to start with an overview of how arena mode actually works, and then I'll go through some really useful tips on how you can win more games in arena mode in Apex Legends Season 9. Before I start though, can I just say, I've got loads of amazing content planned for Season 9, so hit that like and subscribe button and come join our community of friends. So let's talk about arena mode. Arena mode is a 3v3 game mode where your goal is to simply kill all 3 enemy team members in each round. The scoring itself is quite interesting. You have to win 3 rounds, but you also have to win by 2, and this goes up to a maximum of 9 rounds, with round 8 being sudden death, winner takes all. In arena mode you'll also need to buy weapons, consumables and abilities at the start of each round. You buy these with crafting materials which you can find and earn in each round. You do start with your passive and some tactical abilities, and the amount you get varies depending on which legend you play. Unlike weapons and consumables though, your abilities will carry over each round if they're not used. You will also need to buy your ultimate, because that's one thing you won't get without paying for with crafting materials. As well as consumables, especially meds, you'll also have to buy weapons. To buy the weapons you simply click them, and this gives you the base weapon with base attachments. You can then upgrade these weapons every time you want to if you've got enough materials, and you do this simply by clicking the weapon again, and you can upgrade through the different levels. And by upgrading the weapon, you are also upgrading the attachments that you can get. So for example, if you click upgrade 3 times, your weapon will turn purple and you'll then have access to purple attachments. Like I said, you'll need to have enough crafting materials to be able to do this, and this is where economics becomes very important, but I'll talk a little bit more about this later in my tips. In terms of crafting materials, there are 3 key ways to collect and build crafting materials. You get increasing amounts of materials given to you as a standard at the start of each round, and this will be the same for every player. That's the first way you can get crafting materials. The second way is to actually collect them in the rounds, and you can do this from the canisters which you're used to in the normal battle royale modes. These will be dotted around the map and they give you 200 per canister. The final way is based on your performance, and by this I mainly mean kills, because you get 75 extra materials for each kill that you get. Now one thing you can't buy is ammo. If you're wondering, you will get a set amount of ammo each round, but I will say it's normally enough to last you, so you don't need to worry too much about it. When you kill enemies they'll also drop ammo and other stuff that they're carrying, so you can always pick it up during the game. Another really important thing to take note of is that there aren't any respawns in this game mode, so once your teammate dies, they can't be brought back until the next round, at which point they're automatically spawned at the start of the round when they enter the buying phase. You can revive your downed teammates however, so if a teammate is only knocked and not finished off, you will be able to revive them. During each round you will also get a care package that drops. The contents are always 3 weapons, and they improve as the round goes on. For example, in the first round you'll have a blue kitted weapon, but in the later rounds you've got a higher chance of getting heirloom weapons, things like Krabers, Prowlers, and of course the triple take, which is new into the care package this season. Another thing to take note of is that the ring does push in slowly, which you'll be very used to if you've played Apex Legends before. Here's another important thing to note. You can choose your legend at the start of the game, but once you're in the game, you won't be able to change your legend in between rounds. So if you're thinking in the buying phase you'll be able to change legends, unfortunately you can't do that, so make sure you choose your legend wisely at the start of the game, because you'll have to use that legend through each of the rounds in that game. In terms of maps, there are 5 arena maps in total, and they all go live at launch, but you'll only get 3 maps in rotation at any time for arenas. You'll have the 2 dedicated maps, which are Party Crasher and Phase Runner, and you'll then get 1 map which has been taken from the 3 Battle Royale maps, and these will rotate in as the 3rd map out of these rotation for arenas, and they'll change bi-weekly. So essentially what will happen is you'll always have Party Crasher and Phase Runner, and then the 3 maps that have been taken from the normal Battle Royale mode will be put into rotation and changed bi-weekly. These 3 maps are Artillery from King's Canyon, Thermal from World's Edge, and Golden Gardens from Olympus. Now let's jump into the tips that you can use to help you get more wins in arena mode in Apex Legends. My first tip is you can actually see what's in the care package during the buy phase. If you look in the corner, you'll be able to see at the start of each round which weapons are in the care package, and you can then use this to decide if it's actually worth pushing towards the care package. Tip 2, like I said, the ring does slowly close in, so you can't just camp the outside of the ring the whole time, and it tends to push in closer to where the care package is, so it's a good idea to plan your rotations around near where the care package is. Tip 3. I mentioned economy before. The biggest bonus you can get to help boost your material count are through the material canisters. Now there are only a few around the map in any given round, but the bonus is when you do take it from a canister, it will give the 200 bonus to your whole team, so not just you, each of your teammates will get that 200 bonus. So this can be quite a useful tactic to give you the advantage in future rounds by collecting materials from these canisters, and you can even base your gameplay for a given round around where the canisters are located, because this boost in materials can definitely give you an advantage into each round. Another fun tip related to this is that you can actually use them to bait enemy teams. You see, enemy teams will also want to be collecting these materials from the canisters to get that boost for the next round, so you can use this to your advantage, where you use it as bait to lure them towards it and almost try and create a kill box. My next tip is around meds, because meds are extremely scarce in this game mode. By meds obviously I mean syringes, med kits, shield cells and batteries, as well as phoenix kits. You see, these are all quite rare. There aren't many loot locations on the map. You normally only have a few supply bins with some meds in, so getting to those supply bins and picking up those meds can be really important. I would also say with this tip, don't take all of the meds for yourself. Try and share them throughout with your team, because this is a fast-paced game mode, so it's unlikely you'll be able to use all of your meds anyway. Plus, if your teammates get wiped because they don't have meds and you've taken them all, you're going to find it quite hard to win the round. And my next tip is actually sort of related to this. Loba's ultimate can be really useful. You see, meds bought individually, especially the shield batteries, whereas Loba's ult isn't very expensive, but it does allow you and each of your teammates to take 2 items from the supply bins, which essentially means you could save a lot of materials as a team by just using Loba's ult at the start of the game. So this is quite a useful tip and something to keep in mind. My next tip is to don't forget to look on the floor when you kill an enemy. They actually drop the stuff that they're carrying that in the normal battle royale mode would be in their loot box. Well, in arenas you don't have a loot box, their stuff just drops on the floor, so if you need extra stuff like extra meds or consumables or even ammo, then you can pick it off the enemies that you kill. My next tip is to try and remember the cost of each weapon, and in doing this, you can then get to understand what weapon combos the enemy team might be rocking and decide on your tactics. For example, if an enemy team has weapons you know are expensive, it's highly likely they don't have too many abilities or meds, so you can perhaps focus on longer, more drawn out fights, because you know you can outlast them on meds and then push when they're weak and they can't heal. On the flip side, if you think they don't have the most expensive weapons or attachments, it probably means they spent their money on abilities or meds, so you want to plan your strategy around this knowledge. My next tip is to not forget to thirst enemies. When you're in a 3v3 situation, it can be quite intense, and you might forget to thirst your down opponents. Remember, there are no respawns in this game mode, so if you thirst an enemy, that enemy team can't respawn their friend. But if you just down them and forget to thirst them, you can still revive in this game mode, which means that enemy team could still revive their teammate. So it's definitely worth, if you're able to, trying to thirst enemies that you down. My final tip is around slowing down your gameplay for arenas. You see, using cover becomes really important in a 3v3 situation. And as there aren't any threats of third parties in this game mode, you can play it a little bit slower and more strategically. If you run out in the open a lot, there's a team of 3 that's obviously looking to kill you, and it's also quite a small map, which probably means you'll be in trouble very quickly. Hence why it's a better idea to use cover, maybe slow down your game a little bit until you've got your bearings and positioning correct, and then you can act accordingly. But if you just charge in head first, you're probably going to find yourself in trouble. And those are my tips just to give you a bit of an advantage when you jump into arenas with the launch of Season Legacy. Go give arenas a go, it's actually a lot of fun. I've been playing it a lot since it's gone live, and I suggest you give it a go as well. Don't forget, ranked for arenas is coming soon, so this is also a really great way to get your practice in before a competitive ranked mode comes for arenas. I'll do separate videos for the best legend combos, legend meta, and weapon meta for arena mode, so keep a lookout for those videos. For now though, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.